You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Sobczak.
Over the years, I've used my sales skills to get into lots of sporting events, including ones that were hard to get into and were sold out. Also, I've learned a lot about sales in the process, and also learned a lot by dealing with ticket scalpers and then just regular people off the street who are selling tickets. Many of you who've been with me for a while know that I'm a sports nut. And whenever I'm out traveling to a city doing training, I typically will check the schedules of whatever pro or college team of any sport might be going on so that I could attend a game when I'm there. And I've done over 1,500 training programs over the years, and that's a lot of opportunities to see games. Actually, right now, as I record this, I've been to 22 of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums, and I did a calculation the other day, and I've actually seen games in 25 Major League Baseball stadiums that have since been torn down and replaced with new ones. So that means I'm kind of old, too, I guess. And my friends and family are pretty well aware that I'm pretty good at getting great tickets to games by paying less than face value, even at sold-out events. It's kind of a game and a challenge for me, one that I normally succeed at, and it's pretty much sales, just like most human interactions are. So I've compiled some of the sales points that we can learn from acquiring tickets to sporting events. So, number one, don't just wish for opportunities. When I'm at a game, walking around outside, that is normally my procedure. I'll see the other ticketless people outside the stadiums and the arenas walking up to scalpers, paying inflated, crazy prices. And they're wandering around, hoping they're going to bump into some tickets at a fair price. Now, here's my secret. It's finding regular people who have extra tickets, but would prefer to sell them to someone respectable looking, well, somewhat anyway, who will use those tickets himself instead of reselling them and gouging someone else. So I know that what I have to do is advertise and create opportunities. So what I do is I'll hold up my hand up in the air and I'll say, hey, I need one or I need two. And by the way, it's easier to get one or two than three or four, of course. So a big part of sales is simply putting yourself out there, making the calls. Are you just wishing for sales or are you creating opportunities for yourself? Next, don't be afraid of risk. Every time we make a sales call, we put ourselves at risk of not accomplishing what we want, or of maybe just getting tongue-tied, appearing to be a fool by someone's definition anyway. And to some people, I look like a goofball when I'm walking around with one or two or more fingers thrust up into the air. That's what people have told me anyway. And there's always the people who, when they see two fingers up in the air, they'll walk by and they'll go, oh yeah, peace, man. So creative they are. And you know what? I couldn't care less. I know if I want tickets, this is what I need to do. So therefore, my desire for tickets is much greater than any possible concern I have for what other people think, other people that I will never ever see again. So bottom line, don't be afraid of risk in sales. Better yet, change your definition of what you might be afraid of. So what if you get a no when you're prospecting? And you will. So just reframe that to, hey, at least I tried. At least I got a decision. Next, believe that you can. Some sales reps totally avoid certain types of prospects and calls because they don't think they'll be successful. So at games, I laugh when I see these reports in the media of tickets, particularly at some of these high-profile games and events, going for outrageous prices. And I think that's good because it keeps my competition away. I've gotten into, here's my list, the 7th game of a World Series, a Final Four championship game, the Masters, NBA and Major League Baseball All-Star game, NFL and NHL playoff game, the opening night of a Rolling Stones tour, and many others where the media said tickets couldn't be had for less than double, triple, quadruple face value. And I paid face value and under at each one of those events that I listed. And I knew that I was going to pull it off before I even got to the event. And I especially love it when the fast-talking scalper will ask me what I'm looking to pay. And then I look him in the eye and say, face value or less. And then, of course, he tells me I'm crazy. And I always respond by saying, I'll be in there in a little bit. So if you believe that you're beat before you even try, that's always a self-fulfilling prophecy. Next, questions are your tools. As I always say, ask questions, listen, and you'll learn exactly what you need to put together a good deal. So I often find that people have extra tickets to events because they maybe got them free from their company, or friends couldn't show up at the last minute, or they're afraid of selling tickets above face value for fear of getting arrested, or they don't want to go through the trouble of putting them up online. And this is all good information for me. So the more you know, the more you can tailor an attractive recommendation to fit somebody's needs and concerns. Next, don't show desperation. I've seen sales reps so desperate for sales that they're so quick to cut price, or they don't realize the full potential of a sale because they try to wrap it up early before they thoroughly develop a problem and their full price solution. Likewise, when my kids were little, they knew that when they were with me and I was dealing with ticket sellers, that we never jumped at the first tickets that we saw. And then over time, they actually got good at it. And after years of watching me, they would never say, Dad, just buy those. Because since, of course, the sellers would use that to their advantage. So as they learned, what they would do is, again, they'd be part of the team. They would say, Dad, let's go. We can probably do better than that. So don't be afraid to walk away from a deal if it's not win-win. And finally, ask, and ask often. It's such a simple principle. You don't get what you don't ask for. Lots of salespeople leave money on the table simply because they don't ask for the business. In negotiating for tickets, of course, I don't want to cause someone to lose money, but I'm typically going to ask for a very favorable deal, and most often I get it. All right, so I'd like to come to a game in your area. And what that means is I do training all over the country. And I don't take on as many as I used to, but I still take on a limited number per year. So these include keynote presentations as well as 1, 2, and 3 day customized training programs for companies. So if you have interest in talking about that, let's see if there's a fit. So here's a web page I'd like you to go to. And it's simply my name, Art Sobczak, ArtSobczak.training, artsobczak.training, and there's several options there for you. So, and I probably will check the schedule of the sporting events before we pick a date. All right, hey, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be iron every way, you'll never feel what they say. It's the art of the sales quote of the day.
That's right. It's time for the quote of the day. And today's quote is from author Roger Ellerton. And this ties into my last point, which is ask for what you want. Give other people the opportunity to say yes. Stop saying no for them. Wow, great advice for asking for tickets as well as for the sale or whatever you want in life. Hey, if you're the type of person that likes to help others, would you do some friends a favor who could benefit from this show? Send them over to our show site, theartofsales.com, theartofsales.com. And also, if you'd like hundreds of other tips just like these, go to our blog, smartcalling.com, smartcalling.com, and there you can download my ebook of 501 sales tips. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me. Until next time, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Sobczak.